one of the biggest steps that a lot of rehab professionals make during the rehab process is not giving enough time to develop strength qualities. So right now we're inside a rack, we got a safety squat bar, and we're gonna go over a couple different ways that we can manipulate a simple back squat with a safety squat bar to improve strength qualities. The first variation we're gonna talk about is just tempo training, something we may do early on once we get into a return to training phase. Then we're gonna talk about working on controlled isometrics, so just picking ranges of motion and developing time under tension in those positions. And then the third variation we're going to talk about is true strength training, where we're going after repetition maximums, we're going after increasing the weight. This is where you may lean into velocity-based training if you have any sort of technology available to you. So that all the same rules apply when we're talking about a meniscus injury here. We have a block here, a bench here to control depth, range of motion. It also is going to serve as a purpose to help us unload at the bottom of the squat to be able to improve our ability to produce force on the way up. So when we get under the bar, the first variation is just a simple tempo training. So tempo training is just controlled muscle action on the way down, on the way up. I'm just going slow and controlled, trying to maintain muscle action and movement the entire time. I never stand totally up. I never lock my knees out. Now I can walk myself forward to allow my butt to sit down. And the beauty of this bench is doing two things. One, it's giving me a reminder of how low I should go. Number two, it's encouraging me to keep my center of mass back. If I didn't have that, I may see something where my head pitches forward and my weight goes forward. So that's a great way to control there. So first variation is tempo. Second is isometric. So isometric, I'm just holding a position and just pick a time. You may go 10 seconds, stand back up, reset, maybe go for another 10 seconds, build yourself up to 30 seconds, stand back up. So isometrics is the second variation. Third variation is what we think about classic strength training is dynamic efforts. So just squatting down, squatting up, down and up. Biggest things here, head stays over midfoot the entire time. Imagine I'm a puppet on a string going straight up and down from the puppeteer up top. My butt just touching and I'm pushing through the floor to stand up. So there's three great ways that we can manipulate the same exercise and add a lot of volume during the training week. So it's very easy to add isometrics as part of the warm-up. You can add isometrics as a finisher to just create some more time under tension. You can utilize a tempo training as somewhat of a light to moderate training day, and then to go after mechanical stress to really improve our maximal strength efforts. That's where we're going to go after our dynamic efforts. So anywhere from 3 to 5 reps, depending on where we're at in that phase of rehab. So it's important that we think about training the same exercise, that being a squat, through multiple different avenues to achieve different qualities, but ultimately we're trying to encourage absolute strength during this phase, because if we don't improve absolute strength, all of our fun, speed, and power activities are going to have a step backwards, and they're not going to be as good as they can be because we didn't spend enough time here.